Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through as usual for Omniscient Reader or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, chapters 221, 222, and probably 223. I'm kind of planning to do 3 chapters. If 2 chapters are like over 45 minutes long for some reason, like maybe there's just a lot to discuss, then maybe I'll stick to 2, but I'm thinking 3 right now. So I mentioned before that I want to start doing some more like reviews and videos like that. I haven't really had any time yet to take notes on ORV, so when I can, take some more notes and make some reviews that are more in depth and some just more side videos, I'll be throwing those in here and there. But for the time being, we're still like 30-some chapters behind, so I'm gonna do some reactions while we're waiting for me to get done doing notes and stuff, because I have a bunch of other things that I've been working on reviews for. I'm probably like over a dozen reviews deep and things that are, recorded or I have notes for, but I haven't recorded or I need to take notes for. But like, once I get time to get to ORV reviews, I'll do some more of those. But until then, I don't want to take any weeks off of ORV really, because I am really excited for it. I'm really enjoying it. So, even if it's a shorter video, even if it's only 2 chapters, or if we get caught up only like 1 chapter, I still want to do an ORV chapter each week. I might take a week off here and there. I'll let you know ahead of time. Just update you on the community tab or something if I do. But yeah, for right now, until I get time to do those other videos, we're going to get some more reactions in. Speaking of other videos, other kinds of content, I just did a character ranking, so if you want to see my character rankings, worst to best, as of chapter 220, I just posted that video last week, and I ended up really happy with how it came out. At first I wanted to do it as a stream. If I did it as a stream, that would have been like 4+ hours long, because the video, even edited down, the video is nearly 2 hours. But I really liked how it came out, and I think a big part of that is the response to it. Everybody was so amazing in the comments. The comments were great, seeing everybody's predictions, everybody's thoughts on the characters, and my thoughts on the characters were amazing. So yeah, the comments were amazing. Interacting with people about ORV was amazing. Getting to just, it's one thing to react and to talk about my thoughts on the story as I'm reacting, but to talk about the series as a whole and how I feel about the characters, which is a good way to talk about the series as a whole. I think doing something different like that, and especially getting to go so in depth that I talked for like well over 2 hours, it's just, it got edited down to like 1 hour 45 minutes. Just getting to do that, getting to talk about ORV that much in a way that's different from reacting was very, very fun. I really liked it. So yeah, more special videos in the future, but for right now, let's continue reading because we're still not caught up. So let's see what happens in 221. And I was thinking, with Dokja seemingly dying, I don't know why, but I was thinking, oh, we'll probably be away from him for a while. Maybe we'll follow the other characters without him, because I never believed for a second that ORV, like, Dokja is the focus for ORV, so it's like, I don't think he's permanently dying, of course, but for some reason I was like, maybe we'll spend some time away from him, and he just won't show up for a while we follow the other characters, and then it'll be more shocking when he shows back up. And I feel like I've maybe seen him in thumbnails. I've tried not to look at thumbnails to not spoil myself, so if that's the case, maybe we're not spending that long away from Dokja. Maybe we follow Dokja into the afterlife again. So there is that possibility. But yeah, maybe we spent a little time away from him when he died in the past. I don't know why I had that thought in my head, though, because now I'm like, okay, yeah, my first instinct was probably incorrect. We're probably just going to see Dokja here within these 3 chapters. I'd be surprised if we don't see him. But either way, it will be interesting to see where things go, because in that character ranking video I mentioned, I went back and I just reread the past 10 chapters. Like the day I recorded that ranking, I went back and reread the past 10. And there was this one moment where the fourth wall being thing said to Dokja's mom, oh, Dokja knows what he needs to do to stop fate or subvert fate or whatever. So does that mean that Dokja had a plan in dying here to Junghyuk? Or does that mean that the plan was like he knows what he needs to do and dying was the plan? But either way, let's just start reading. Let's stop rambling for the intro. Someone has completed the 10th main scenario. Congratulations, you've passed the 10th scenario. And we have Team Dokja heading out. You've completed the Liberator of the Soul Dome achievement. And yeah, now that the domes are open, does that mean we go into worldwide dome time? And like everybody, even outside of the major cities, is now embroiled in this conflict? Because if not, imagine if the Starstream just backed off and the world went to normal, and now you just have these people with crazy superpowers that were in the domes, that survived the domes. That could be a sick story all on its own, where like the first big saga of the story is like these dome type games, and then the next saga of the story is just a normal world, but now you have these superpowered survivors of the dome games, and how does the world continue from there? But that is not where I think things are going. I think we're going to continue the apocalypse, hence the name of TWSA, but that would also be a fun way to write a story. Then you can now escape from the Soul Dome, and we see the sky and Dark Castle fading. Jihye looks back. What happened to Mr. Dokja? Does anyone know? Please, tell me what happened to him. Master, what happened to Mr. Dokja? Junghyuk, please tell us. I don't know myself. What's happened to Dokja? Constellation, prisoner of the Golden Headband, is in despair. But he told us himself that he won't ever die. He told us he'll come back to life. So Constellation, Abyssal Black Flame Dragon lies down in place. Sad Abyssal Black Flame Dragon. Constellation, Ilpil, breaks his pen in half. Constellation, god of alcohol and ecstasy, stares into the abyss. Constellations of the Korean Peninsula lament the death of a constellation. The constellations of the Korean Peninsula swear to hold someone's name in memory. There could be a way. If I regress now, Dokja may come back to life. However, get a hold of yourself, Junghyuk. What if Dokja isn't here after I regress? Don't fool yourself into thinking that things will get better if you keep repeating everything. What if the Kim Dokja I meet in the next round acts differently? So, just live the life you're in now. And this is cool, breaking Junghyuk out of the mentality of, I'll just regret, I'll do it again. I'll kill myself and I'll do it again. Breaking him out of that mentality to have him try to focus on, and even if he does have the ability to regress, this is a good way to think about it. Live every regression as if it's your last one. If it's the one you have to scratch and claw and make work. Like, that's a better mentality, I think, in general, even if you are a regressor. It very well could be the case that this world you're about to abandon might be the one round that you have where you can see the world, or see the end of the world as a human. What are you guys still doing here? I'm sure you've all seen the system message. We have a Dokkaebi coming in. I see. You're all lamenting his death. Adorable. I love it. One of the comments was so amazing, where it's like the Dokkaebi will show up and be like, I'm the evilest evil and I just love devouring and torturing humans, and Haku will be like, you're so adorable, easy yes tier. I love this one's outfit's kind of whatever, outfit's kind of mid, but the face is so adorable. I think too, so I mentioned one thing about how I view the Dokkaebi, and to be completely honest, to be completely transparent, it's not just that one thing. I said, like, I get almost this, like, sort of, I don't want to say cute aggression. It's not like aggression, but it's like the same way. It's like you see baby animals and it's like, oh, they're so cute. I'll look at Dokkaebi and be like, oh, they're so cute. But it's also, I think, the facial expressions are drawn really well. And when it comes to anime characters or like cartoon characters, that is something that draws me to them. Whereas, you know, for some of the Dokkaebi I've been like, would totally. I think it's, on the one hand, I consider the Dokkaebi incredibly cute, and on the other hand, the facial expressions are so good. If you were to crop out like the faces from any of the Dokkaebi, like the facial expressions they make, and put them on like, just anime girls, I'd be like, oh my god, that's extremely hot. I think the faces are just really good, the facial expressions for the Dokkaebi. Like, I think you put any of the Dokkaebi facial expressions on anime girls, and I'm like, wow, wife. A man will see this and he will say wife. What happened to Dokcha? He was expelled from the scenario. I'm asking you what that's supposed to mean. Is he alive or is he dead? I don't know. But whether it be an incarnation or a constellation, there's no way for those who have been expelled from the scenarios to survive. That's all I know. You should focus on the scenario you're in instead of wasting your time on such trivial matters. You still have not fully escaped from the Soul Dome just yet. An escape scenario has been initiated. The Soul Dome will be closed off soon. You must escape Soul Dome within... So you either stay in and are trapped within the scenario world, or you escape and are... So, okay, hold on. This could be interesting. Is this kind of a start of round 2, where it's like, you can escape no matter how much power you've gained within the Soul Dome or whatever, you can escape, you can wash your hands of the scenarios, you can be done with them by escaping Soul Dome, and it's not going to be a worldwide thing, even though from the way it made the apocalypse seem, it would be a worldwide thing, so maybe I'm wrong here. But is it you can escape and be free from the scenarios, or you can choose not to escape, and you can stay in here and continue with the scenarios, so we're weeding out all the randoms who don't want to be here and leaving us only with, like, the contenders that are left that want to keep going through with this. But you must escape within half a day. The escape route will be provided to you. You'll die... Okay, never mind. I did the thing. You'll die unless you escape the Soul Dome within the given time limit. Not even scroll down and you'll learn the answer to what you're talking about. Literally what I was talking about on screen as I'm talking about it. Dang it. Let's get a move on. And they have modern gaming telling you exactly what to do markers to tell them exactly what to do. And we see Min Ji-won and Internet Kid are here, whose name I never remember. And also another guy who's been colored in. This must be the exit. Well, so if we leave this place, we see Seong, Chang-hyuk. Don't waste the chance Dokcha gave you. He looks down. He walks forward. I won't give up on my current life. All of you should do the same. And he pushes against the wall. Let's go. And now we have a big tidal splash. I love when they do this. And we see the empty streets with the cracked wall. So I guess now we are... Long black panel. I guess we are now entering the worldwide apocalypse. Imagine if you're one of the people that don't live in a big city and all of this craziness has happened and you've just not been a part of it, and then all of a sudden these crazy super-powered people start breaking out of the domes. And in the darkness woke Kim Dokcha, who came to be all alone. Ugh. And Stories Horizon Part 1. I guess if TLS is writing this current existence, they could just write that line, and now Dokcha would just be here. Right? All the bones in his body ached, and his skin was hardened like the skin of a dead animal. It's the voice of the fourth wall. Where am I? I'm alive, thought Dokcha. And if so, is it just narrating what Dokcha's doing? Or does it have agency over Dokcha and he's trapped by fate? Soul. You're currently expelled from the scenarios. You're currently outside of the scenario area. Which means that if he's not bound to the scenarios, he won't die if time runs out. Yeah? I would have been flooded with messages from the constellations, but all I see now is the system message. Kim Dokcha began to think, I really am alone now. Soul's become an out-of-bounds area. My friends must have escaped safely. As happy as he was, Dokja also felt a tinge of sadness. Now that he was alone, he had a task to accomplish. It was for that task that he chose the path of a miserable death. I wonder if even maybe something similar happened in TWSA and we just haven't been told about it yet. So maybe Dokja really does just know what he's doing, because he's the only one who read. We see the buildings from before. Walking the streets of Seoul, Dokja became immersed in his memories of recent events. Everywhere he went, he saw the places where he had taken part in the scenario with his friends. That's when he was reminded once again that he had now become a part of TWSA. Really good ending. Good chapter in general, but I really like that ending. That was a solid ending for the chapter. Either way, though, I don't think there's a lot to discuss that I didn't talk about while I was reading, so let's just keep reading so that I can read 3. I want to keep going. Continuing with 222, walking the streets of Seoul, Dokja became immersed in his memories of recent events. Okay, recap. Okay. Then we have the title splash, Stories Horizon Part 2. He definitely lived through the story. Gosh, that's touching and all, but can you cut it out already? When are you going to keep mumbling to yourself? Out of annoyance, Kim Dokja told the fourth wall off. How much time has passed? That's what Kim Dokja wanted to ask, but there wasn't anyone around to answer him. Dang it, you could be the one to answer me. Let's go over a few things first. I managed to survive since I became a constellation, but my physical incarnation was completely destroyed. Many of your stories have been damaged. Your physical incarnations currently completely destroyed. So I don't have a body right now. I'm just made up of a very incomplete set of stories. Your physical incarnation's in extreme danger. There doesn't seem to be a way to restore your physical body. This is interesting. So if an existence is a story in ORV, then if he had nobody else to remember him outside of the legends of him, he would maybe just fade into being like a legendary being, sort of like a constellation or demon king or whatever. But because he has people, like actual living people, who remember him as an actual living person, I wonder if that will be the key to reforming himself as an actual living person. Can I still use Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint? The area you're in does not allow you to use Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. That makes sense. If you're outside of the scenario area, you can't use scenario abilities? Guess not. You've lost all contact with your incarnation. This doesn't work either. You cannot use the channel system. This too? Can you use the shop? I guess I really am alone now. No one's able to see me, and I can't see anyone either. Well, I guess I'm not completely alone. How long are you going to keep this up? Kim Dokja was too stupid to realize why the Great Fourth Wall was bothering to narrate everything that was happening. I guess you can do more than just describe things. What on earth are you? Are you really a skill? Stupid Kim Dokja said into thin air. Why you... This is kind of making me think... Hey. It's making me think about, Great Sage and Rimuru from Tensura. It's kind of making me think, what are the odds? I said that Sangha was seemingly the romantic option for Dokja. What are the odds Dokja X Fourth Wall? Because we still don't know if Fourth Wall is TLS 123, and even if so, you figure there's the connection there. Dokja was the only one who read their story, who cared about them, and if Fourth Wall is helping Dokja through all of this, then, am I shipping Dokja with the Fourth Wall? Maybe. Stop that or I'll switch the skill off. Stupid Kim Dokja. The Fourth Wall speaks. Should I stop then? Jerk. He didn't have any trouble expressing himself. That's right. Please stop. I want to be left alone right now. Personal skill, the Fourth Wall becomes silent. And then... I can't breathe. It feels as though someone squeezed the air out of my lungs. The Star Stream is a world made up of stories. There are no exceptions, whether you're an incarnation or a constellation. The speed at which your stories are being damaged has increased. Okay, so without the fourth wall to protect his stories, they're falling apart under the weight of reality, maybe? All beings breathe through their stories and exist through their stories. So nothing can keep existing in a place where stories do not exist. Or there is the chance that fourth wall is future Dokja, or TLS is future Dokja. That's still kind of not out of the question for me. Your existence is nearing its extinction. Even I. Damn it, help me. I finally see why the fourth wall kept babbling on. He was doing that to keep me alive. He's actually been telling me stories, so that I would be able to survive in a place where no stories exist. Personal skill, the fourth wall has been activated. The fourth wall speaks. You fool. Damn it, I seem to have underestimated the situation I'm in. If it wasn't for the fourth wall, I wouldn't have managed to survive being here. Kim Dokja began to think that you should never take the fourth wall for granted again. How much longer can you protect me? And it's like, is Dokja actually thinking that? Or is the fourth wall just thinking that he is? Or, because the fourth wall thinks that he is, does it mean that he is? The fourth wall speaks. Not that long. The plausibility storm. Well, it's natural for the fourth wall to have trouble handling the plausibility storm, since it can only be neutralized with the help of a constellation. Then there's this darkness approaching. Kim Dokja knew exactly what this thing was. Yes, I do. The scenario cleaners. Neat. They're kind of cute. Kim Dokja began to think. The cleaners being here must mean that the cleaning of the scenario area has begun, and soon the Horizon's demons will show themselves. You really are good at reading minds, but first there's something I need to find. Okay. We see Dongguk University Station, Dongguk, Gumho, the bridge, Oksu. Is he going back to where it all began? Yeah. He looks through, and then, I can trust you, right, Dokja? I'm leaving these here as you asked. Thanks for being an incarnation on my channel. I hope you survive. Okay, so, from Byung, I guess? You've received a new attribute. You've obtained the item Unbreakable Faith. You've obtained the item Dokubi Egg. Okay. So the weapon was left behind so that even when his physical form was destroyed, whenever he's going to whatever the horizon is and dealing with whatever the demons are, he can have, he's armed. And also, Dokubi Egg might be a key to getting back whenever his baby hatches. And then, good, I've collected all the items that I asked Byung to prepare for me. He's like a seahorse. He's the dad of the family being given the egg. All I have to do now is wait for it to appear. And is this a cleaner? Or no? He's here. We see a bulbous growth. Are you the Demon King of Salvation? Demons dwell in the story's horizon. They're neither demon kings nor part of the demonic species, but they're still called demons nonetheless. That'll get confusing. They crave stories as much as the Dokubi, and despise the Dokubi as much as they crave stories. If you've been expelled from a scenario, this is the only thing you can count on. This honestly feels like this should be connected to the Outer World gods and the Outer World, you know? The mercy of the Horizon's demons. And we get a good shot of him. Okay, and that is the end of that. I think I get one more chapter though, so I kind of want to keep reading. This was very good. I am intrigued, though I feel like if this is its own completely separate thing, if it's not connected at all to the Outer World gods, I feel like I don't know if I like that as much, because if the Outer World gods are just legendary creatures from stories like Lovecraft mythos, then wouldn't they still just be constellations? Because of how constellations work. So the fact that they work differently from constellations should make you think, and they hate constellations, and they exist in, like, they're called outer world gods, makes you think that these demons should be connected to that. They're outside, they're in the outer world, they're outside the realm of the star stream, kind of, or on the periphery of it. I guess that makes sense then. If this is the horizon between the star stream and the outer world, and you're kind of on that dividing line between the star stream and the outer world, and there are these demons who live there, who, much like the outer world gods, dislike the Dokubi and dislike the star stream or whatever, as they're trying to get stories themselves. That does make sense then. If maybe that's what the horizon is, the horizon line between outer world and star stream. But either way, let's continue. And if I didn't articulate myself well enough, I guess I'm just trying to say, like, if you have both of these things as story elements, it kind of doesn't make sense if they aren't connected in some way. But either way, the demons dwell in the story's horizon. They are neither demon kings nor part of the demonic species. We just read all this, but they're still called demons nonetheless. They crave stories as much as the Dokubi and despise the Dokubi as much as they crave stories. It almost feels like, again, they could be like, they are to the outer world gods as the Dokubi are to the constellations. If you've been expelled from a scenario, this is the only thing you can count on. The mercy of the horizon's demons. And then he activates an eye power. How strange. Even with the Archdemon's eyeball, I can't see your information. Not even prophets can see my information. You seem behind on the times for a Weni man. Did you know I would come here? I did. I bet you're here for this. He holds out the egg. That soul is mine. A version of me in a parallel dimension sent that here. That soul belongs to me. I don't know what you're talking about. So, again, if they are to the outer world gods as the Dokubi are to the constellations, and this guy's talking about a version of me in a parallel dimension, is this parallel world be young? I was wondering where the soul meant to return to the underworld had gone, but I see you got your hands on it. I ask that you return that soul before it's too late. Return, what do you mean? Does Starstream have some sort of lost and found? This egg contains Shin Yu-sung from Junghyuk's 41st round. Alright. Also, very good design. So, in a sense, this guy is right. The one who transformed Yu-sung and brought her to this dimension is none other than this Weni man. If you want to play games, let's ask her directly. She has free will too. Yu-sung, he says he's your owner, but what do you think? And then puts his face up to the egg. I see he's not your owner. See here. Then who do you belong to? That's right. Souls can't belong to anyone, in the same way that no one can possess a story. How amusing, Demon King of Salvation. Are you trying to strike a bargain with me? I am. Your achievements have garnered much attention even here. However, if you want a deal, hand over that egg first. Do you not understand how bargains work? I'm afraid I can't do that. I need her. You have no idea the value that egg holds. Yes, I do. The beings to be born from this egg can create a channel. Do you understand the significance of that? It means a star stream can be transmitted without the management center's authority. Oh, so they can use Baby Yu-sung as a YouTuber. They can use Baby Yu-sung as a streamer. Thus, this egg carries the possibility to produce countless stories. Isn't that why you want this egg as well? So, do you plan to betray Starstream? Betray them? I don't know. Can you say the management center is the entirety of Starstream? Sometimes one part is the same as the whole. That doesn't seem like something a Weni man would say. But fine, if that's the answer you're looking for. I'm going to destroy the world of the damned Dokubi. And then he looks shocked. Oh, I like you. And now we have our title splash. Stories Horizon Part 3. The Weni Man, active where the Dokubi's channel doesn't reach, play a role similar to the black market operators of Starstream. So, you have two requests. First, you wish to return to a scenario, and second, you want to obtain a new physical incarnation. For a price, they return exiles to scenarios, and even provide unique objects that can't be acquired in a channel. So again, for him to know about all this, he has to have read it. Of course, the price they ask is extremely steep. I can help with both matters. In return, you must give me the egg. I can't. Then I cannot help you. Damn, he seems completely sold on the Dokkaebi egg. I told you I can't give you the egg. Even if it did return to you, you'd be unable to use it. It only listens to me. Don't tell me you fed it your stories? Exactly. Mixing a Dokkaebi and stories. How foul. That's enough. I'll give you something instead of the egg. And we have a story list. Stories. Isn't that the only thing your kind receives anyway? I expected them to be amazing, but they're truly outstanding. To think you have 6 stories that are at least legendary. Looks like you have enough here instead of the egg. Must I choose just one? For now. Then I'll take this one. And then the one who killed another world god? The one who killed another world god. Don't you think you're being too greedy? That's my only semi-mythical story. In that case, this one's not bad. The king of the world without a king? That's my birth story. You think I can give that away? I see. Then what about the Demon King of Salvation? That might demote me. That's basically how I formally became a constellation. Would you give it up if you were me? Then I'll make do with this, the one who fought against a miracle. Again, I can take one of them. For now, you can't have any of your first 3 picks. Sorry, I have your first 4 picks. Sorry, I have need for that later. Then what story are you willing to part with? I can give you Silatang Allied Forces. I don't even want that for free. How about this, Insect Genocide? It's better than the other one, but it's been done before. I'll give you both. And if you need it, I can give you other historical great stories. Shall I take this as you refusing to make a trade? As expected, he's not easy to bargain with. Darn. The world isn't only made up of pushovers like Be Young. I'm not sure how you've managed to maintain your existence until now, but I'm sure you don't have much time left. Your physical incarnation's falling apart. Honestly, I feel like he'd be fine giving him one of those stories that he wanted. Stupid Kim Dokja began to wonder what story he should give him. I'm frustrated enough already, so don't bother me. I mean, even if he gives him the one that made him formally a constellation, he would still be technically a constellation, and he could just get another one. Just then, a story jumped out at Dokja. What do you even... Huh? What about this one? This story. It was a legendary story that had no special skills, however just the fact that the story existed was enough to pique the Wenny Man's interest. And then he's viewing it, starts laughing. So, how do you like it? Fine, I'll accept this. And it's when he beat up, Paul, the one who scorned a storyteller. What a delightful story. Again, playing to the hatred of Dokkaebi. So, you have 2 requests. First, you wish to return to a scenario. Second, you want to obtain a new physical incarnation. The story you offered may be quite rare, but practically contains no skills. It falls a bit short on the price mark. For this story, I can only assist you in granting you a physical incarnation. What? Why can't I return to a scenario? Isn't this usually enough for such a request? I'll give you Silatang Allied Forces too. I don't need it. The situation's somewhat special at the moment. Because of what you did, the Korean Peninsula's management center and nebulae are on edge. Currently, nearly all the routes returning to a scenario on Earth are blocked off. Even with greater payment, it'd be impossible. I have to return to the scenario, no matter what. It's more important than a physical incarnation. I would have thought the physical incarnation would be more important, because once you have the physical incarnation, and you're like, okay, now I'm not fading from existence, then you could think of how to return. That's a problem. It doesn't have to be Earth. Can I participate in any other scenario? I did find a few places, but that'll be even more difficult. Moving to an escape scenario requires a greater probability. There's really no way? It's a much rarer story than you think. What incarnation in the universe could obtain a story about beating up a Dokkaebi? Just think about how you could put this in your Wen and show it off to your friends. According to TWSA, the Wens of the Wenny Men are able to contain stories in them. there is one place that you could go to. The demonic realm. Okay, so are we going to be back to where maybe where Dark Castle came from, I guess? The 73rd demonic realm. It's a place without a reigning demon king. Oh, the place that they went to for that part of the scenario for the fight. Okay. It's also long been a place where scenario stragglers gathered. Are you really returning me to a scenario? That would be impossible. We're merely moving you to the 3rd demonic realm. Okay, so you're at least returning to the realm, but you have to find another way to get back into the scenario. And he devours the story. However, I'll give you a little tip. It would take considerable luck and effort, but depending on how you use this information, you could obtain a physical incarnation and return to a scenario. Why do I get the feeling, or why do I feel like I got the short end of the stick here? And then he creates a passageway. Enter quickly. It won't last nearly as long as a portal. And Dokja passes through. Your incarnation is being sent to a new time and space. The Starstream glimpses your existence. Okay, so the Starstream can see you exist now. The Starstream turns a blind eye to your existence. Okay. So he exists again, but he's being ignored. You have reached an area adjacent to a scenario. Okay, really good. I like this. We took care of the horizon part of things, and then this is actually a good place to end, because we did the horizon part of things, we did the negotiation with the Wenny Man, and then next read-through we can start what he's going to do in the demon realm, trying to get back to the human realm, back to Earth, back to the scenarios. Okay, really good. That was a solid set of 3 chapters. And those 3 chapters were kind of their own self-contained story of how Dokja gets from where he was to where he's going. It's also quite funny how, I mentioned that the story hard focuses on Dokja, and here once again, where I was like, oh, maybe with Dokja quote-unquote dead for a bit, we focus on the side characters. Instead, no side characters, hard focus on Dokja. We're seeing what Dokja does. So very fun. I enjoyed this set of chapters. Thank you for watching, though. Like if you did like the video, and comment down there too. Tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Omniscient Reader, tons more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you're linked to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link. If you would like to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing the video, it's appreciated. And if you'd like to help support the channel and also get your name at the end of videos and get One Piece videos a bit early, you can hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/HakuofTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and channel members. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan, Holly, and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, FR Nono, JA, and the D-Ban, Pure Elements, sorry, I skipped over some, Jerriton Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pateo DL, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.